Macca's Guides.
Hey guys, Macca here playing Forza Horizon 4, and in this video I'll be going into depth about drifting and the best way to get 3 stars in all of the drift zones. This is going to be tailored more towards people who maybe aren't that experienced with drifting, people who are interested in getting the stars, not necessarily competing on the leaderboards. This is kind of going to cover a lot of the basics and set you up with all the knowledge you need to, be really great at drifting, but if you really want to take it to the next level, there's probably some more advanced techniques or advanced tunes in other videos. Nonetheless, this video is going to focus on getting you 3 stars in all the drift zones as easily as possible, and step 1 of that process will be to get a car and a tune that works for you. Now, I've made one that worked great for me, and I would highly recommend it. It is for the Hoonigan Hoonicron car, which is 500,000 credits. It's a lot, but it actually is a very good multi-purpose vehicle, and I have made a tune for it called Drift King, and you can install this tune and then set it up, and this tune is good on both roads and on dirt tracks. Now, a couple of other things that are very important is that while you're going for drifts, you want to make sure your traction control and your stability are off, and it would be highly advised that you go into manual transmission and that you spend the majority of your time in the 4th gear. There's really no point of changing gears while drifting. You basically just want to sit in the 4th gear from when you start to when you finish all of your drifts. Now that you have the right car for the occasion, you have to learn how the scoring system works. And the scoring system is actually pretty simple in all of the Forza games. Basically, it is a combination of your speed and a combination of your drift angle that makes up how many points you're accumulating as you are drifting. Obviously, the higher the speed and the higher the angle, the more points a drift is worth. Another very important note you want to keep in mind, though, is that you do need to keep your car on the road, in bounds. If one of your tires slips out off the road, or if the backside of your car swings out of the corner, you are basically drifting for no reason as you're not gaining any points. Now, the next thing you're probably wondering is how to actually start a drift and carry the drift and not spin out, etc., etc., control of the car. Now, if you're using my setup with the proper settings, it is actually a very controllable car, and you should be able to kind of just use your gas and always drift around every corner without many problems. Now, there are a couple of important notes. In drifting, yes, speed is important as it does give you more points. However, going too fast is basically a death sentence, and a lot of the times you don't want to approach a turn at full speed. I would personally recommend approaching a corner just fast enough to get your tail swung out without overdoing it and then just spinning out of control. Now, the reason this is an interesting drift car is because most of them are rear-wheel drive. You need those back tires spinning to keep your tail swinging. However, this car is actually a all-wheel drive or a 4-wheel drive car, and it has power going to all the wheels. However, I kind of did a unique tire setup as well as other things, which will basically make it always kind of slidey without oversteering too much on its own. Now, what that means in terms of your control of the car and trying to actually get the car sideways is a lot of the times just giving the car a lot of gas will get it to swing. However, sometimes you do want to change the weight around in order to get your car to behave a certain way. So, for example, if you hit the brakes really hard, you'll transfer all the weight to the front tires, and then once you spin the tires in the back, the weight will start transferring to the back tires, which will give you more grip on those back tires and let you do a turn slightly more aggressively. So for a lot of the sweeping turns, I'd recommend just letting the car carry itself through. For some of the tighter turns, I'd recommend braking and then accelerating through them. And for the really tight turns, you'll probably need to use your emergency brake a little bit in order to get yourself really swung around very quickly. So it's a combination of those 3 things that are going to be very important to you, and then maintaining your speed and drift angle. Again, wide sweeping turn, just let the car do the work. A little bit of a tighter turn, make sure you transfer the weight front to back in order to get your drift going. And then the really tight turns, or if you really want to kill your speed, use that emergency brake. Also, once you do lose grip in those tires, it's very important to counter steer, which is something that a lot of casual players might not actually realize. So if I'm drifting to the left, I want to have my tires to the right in order to kind of keep me in that perfect drift angle. If I keep going to the left with my tires, I'm just going to do donuts. So the counter steer is also very important once you actually lose grip in those tires. With this car, I was able to set some really, really great leaderboard positions, which I'm sure over the next couple days or weeks will be easily beaten. However, I do think this car is going to help a lot of people, especially the people who are slightly more casual fans who just want to grab the drift zones in order to get 100% in their game. I'd like to thank you guys for watching the video. Please drop a like if you found the tips in the video useful or the car and the tune useful. Share the video with a friend. I hope you guys enjoyed it and hope you subscribe for future content. Special thanks to the amazing people on Patreon for supporting the show. I'll see you guys soon. Peace.